Hello and welcome to our podcast. We are your hosts today, Sydney Day,
Schrodinger, aka Erin Smith.
This one is called the Enneagram
Non-Experts.
Yes. We would love to say a quick thank you to our sponsors today.
Our 0 sponsors that we have.
We have 0 sponsors.
Yes.
This is a thank you in advance for all of you who will be signing up to sponsor us after
send
today.
Send a check.
Lots of money.
Venmo.
We accept anything.
Cash App.
Anyway, moving past that, welcome back.
Yes, to our podcast.
Yeah, and once again, a reminder to everyone that we're filming these on video.
Yeah, things just got real, more personal.
Yeah,
Good
now
thing I don't have any pimples.
You know, when I was editing our last one, I realized like how many weird faces that I make. You don't. You're very you're very stoic. You're just kind of like chilling.
Well, I'm stoic.
Okay, well now I take it back. That wasn't very stoic of you.
Oh, I just remembered.
What?
My dad joke.
What?
Okay. Why did 4s not eat their lunch?
4 is like the Enneagram type?
No. Like
4s?
I don't know. It's a joke.
Oh, because 7, 8, 9.
They already ate.
Oh my god.
Because that's a number 2.
Oh my god, numbers.
Okay, well, in what's the word? Put a laugh track in there.
Yeah,
me, please.
I'm just gonna do the crickets.
Wow, rude.
See, I get all the power because I'm the editor.
That's true. And you're a 1, so you pull the power anyway. But one day the 2s revolt.
Whoa.
Take over the world.
Oh there, okay.
This is just going to be a lot of goodness.
Well, this went off in a really scary direction.
Yeah, well, taking over the world, I mean, it's just every day for us.
I feel like 2s are probably the most likely type to do that. You know, people think 2s are all about love and like all that, but I think people get 2s mixed up with 9s. 9s are the peace and harmony. 2s,
especially a 2-wing 3,
I think they can be a little scary sometimes. They would take over the world, but you would never know it's happening because they just put on that smiley face and...
Did I do that? Oops. Little old me.
Couldn't be
Betsy
me.
Lou.
Oh my god.
That's my alter ego at work when I'm a Southern.
Really?
Yeah. Betsy Lou.
Betsy Lou. Good old...
Don't let her fool you.
I know. Betsy Lou sounds like she can cause some harm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
She's a troublemaker. Trouble, boil and bubble.
Mm-hmm. What's the shame,
I know your name. That's
good
from
old Winnie.
New Girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, all jokes aside.
Should probably get to our episode.
That's what I was doing.
I know. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
You know what? I am glad we have video because I feel like both of us make really like mean, sarcastic comments to each other. And if you don't have the video with it, we just sound like we're assholes. Yeah. But with the video, you can see it's, we're all laughing here. See?
Yeah, some of us more than others. Just kidding.
So before we get into today's episode, we actually have a new segment, don't we?
Me thinking about what that segment is. Yes, we do.
We do. And don't worry, Erin, I also have not put any thought into my answers for the segment. Okay. So it might just be a little rough first day of our segment, but hang in there with us because it'll get better.
Will it?
Yes.
Just kidding. We'll try.
So our segment, we're going to start doing this at the beginning of every episode. I think it'll be really fun, and y'all at home can play along with your own Enneagram type. We are going to talk about what is the most Enneagram blank R-type thing that we did this week, and what was the least Enneagram R-type thing we did this week. So do you want to kick us off? Do you have any first things that come to mind?
Yeah, I did not think about this whatsoever, just so you know. I thought you were going to say something completely different.
We literally talked about this.
No, I thought you were going to say the questions.
Oh, no, I for the end.
Yeah. I got that now, but now I remember our conversation. I feel like most things I do, but I don't know why this is just completely popping in my head. But you know when, I guess you don't know because you know too, but sometimes twos, especially me, always have to be the helper, always have to be the one to volunteer themselves, even when we don't want to. So I found myself this week, like, wanting to help people by doing their job, essentially, even though I didn't want to do it. And even though they were going to do it, I was like, I have to help this person, even though I don't want to, even though they didn't ask for it.
You didn't want to do it. They didn't want you to do it.
But I was like, I'm doing it because of the goodness out of my heart.
Was that why, Erin?
Wow. Yeah. That honestly was why. I was I have to help them even though. So sometimes I think that with twos, there can be a hard boundary between, wanting to help, but maybe going a little too far and kind of letting them.
Yeah. But the intention's there.
The intention's there, but
yeah, you want to
gotta let go. Mm-hmm. Let it go.
Let it go. I think the most type 1 thing I did this week was I'm in this Discord channel with other Enneagram people. Actually, it's Abby Howe. She's a YouTuber. She has Enneagram content. It's like her Discord group. So there's a bunch of us. We all know the Enneagram. And one of our members this week just asked the whole group a question about any tips from anyone for, not anyone, but, anybody.
Hey, that was a knee slapper.
But any tips for when you feel yourself moving into a place of stress, what do you do to get out of it? And first of all, let me tell you, I almost never contribute to this group because it's I'm too busy. But when I see somebody asking for advice, that's the most anyone thing I did. I'm and especially it's related to self-growth, which is a very type 1 thing, I suck, so I got to get better type attitude. So ones tend to know a lot about self growth and how to improve, right? And so I sent this whole long ass paragraph to her, which honestly, I think it was good. I don't think it was a bad Enneagram 1 thing. I think it's just a stereotypical type 1 thing. I'm ooh, you're asking for advice and you're asking about self improvement. This is my jam.
I will say you are great at advice. I know if I need some advice, you're the first person I think of.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Don't let that get to your head though.
So nice.
People. Come on. That's my one compliment of the day.
You're the first person I would ask for help, but I don't ever ask anyone for help. I don't ever have to because you just already do it.
Yeah, but that actually leads to what I want to talk about for our thing.
For what was
for
the least
podcast?
For the least?
Oh, just for a podcast in general. So that you just lit off a light bulb because that reminds me of something I want to bring up later.
Cool. It's a little tease for later in the episode. Y'all have to stick around
to hear my thought.
Erin's thought.
I'll probably forget when we get to it.
No, I have faith in you.
Okay, well.
But let's hear the least Enneagram 2 thing you did this week.
Ooh. I have to think about this one a little. You go first this time.
Oh my gosh, I have to think about it too.
At work, I am kind of taking charge.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not over people's heads, but I feel like I've become very much a leader.
Nice.
And I think as a 2, I sometimes struggle with being direct.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. My supervisor had me take this leadership quiz, and it was, what type of leader are you? And mine was the servant. So the type of leader who's focused on elevating their team members first, knowing that their success reflects well on you and that your own reward will follow, which is a 2 thing.
I was just going to say, hate to break it to you, but
I think the opposite of a 2 is more being direct, being straightforward, getting people on task instead of being. I feel like the word sometimes is a negative connotation, but more demanding than submissive.
Yeah.
Which has been good.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Next manager over here.
Well, I don't know about that. But that felt good.
Yeah.
So.
Good. I thought of something for myself, but it's not a one thing, and I don't know if it's the best answer, but I just can't think of anything else. I have been really messy this week.
Ooh.
But it almost feels good.
are
Like
you?
it's not like I've been messy before, but I feel guilty and I feel like I always need to be doing it. But I think this week I've really let myself like lean into just like, I don't need to always do the dishes if there's dishes in the
No,
sink.
stop it. Please don't say that.
I know it's going to hurt you, but maybe you can work on this
But
too.
that gives me so much anxiety.
But it's like, I just had to start thinking about like, I live with my boyfriend. If he doesn't care, like I always am doing these things because they bother me, but I also feel like when I live with someone, it's like a respect thing. Like I don't want to leave dirty stuff around. But I've just like leaned in. I've been really busy this week. So I think that's part of it is I've just been tired, but I've been just allowing myself to relax when I'm tired instead of forcing myself to like, I got home at 1 a.m., but I still have to clean the dishes. Like instead it's like, nah, I'm going to bed or I'm just going to watch TV or.
Dang.
So that's the least.
I'm proud of you. I wouldn't do that, but I'm proud of you.
But sometimes it's a good thing.
I wouldn't. I physically can't leave dishes in the dishwasher.
You can.
Or not dishes in the dishes in the sink. I can't leave them in the dishwasher. I have to lick them off.
Oh my God. Yeah, then they're clean. Clean and clear and under control.
Yeah.
I could have a radio voice.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's the skin care thing?
Yeah,
Progressive.
it's Progressive is like
P,
auto.
starts with a P.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I think I do skincare. All right.
Well, maybe we should get to the topic of today.
Maybe we should.
All right. Are you
Tell
ready?
us. Drum roll,
please. Love languages. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we should start a band. I feel like we say that every
I was just going to say every episode.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're going to talk about love languages. And if you've listened to previous episodes of ours, back in the day, if you're an OG fan, we used to interview every type. And one of our interview questions was to ask them what their love language was.
Shall I read off all the love languages?
Yeah. So before you do that, I just want to give a little recap or whatever the word is of what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about each type and what we think is their most likely love language or love languages. I think both that they like to receive and both how they like to give love because it's different sometimes.
And maybe an example here and there.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, we say this all the time, but please do not take our word as fact because we are only two people and we're just saying this based on observation, based on stereotype a little bit. And this does not mean that this has to be your love language if you are this type. Any type can have any love language.
We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, we're just shitting the shit.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, I can't say things correctly. But I'm so close. So close. So one time it was shooting the shit. Well, the saying is shooting the shit. But I said shit in the shit. I don't know why I thought it was that.
Same thing.
I was
Sometimes
like,
you just gotta
on
shit
top
in the
of my
shed.
grill instead of getting in my grill or something like that. Anyway,
read us those love languages.
Yes. So we have 5 love languages. Number 1, words of affirmation. Number 2, quality time. Number 3, receiving gifts. Hint, hint. I would like some gifts. Anyway, Number 4, acts of service. And number 5, physical touch. Touch, touch, touch.
Oh, sensual. Physical touch. Ooh la
You're
la.
welcome. This is not that kind of podcast, okay?
This is the late night show with Sydney and Erin.
Yep. We're your hosts.
Talk all things physical touch.
Let's get physical. R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John.
Oh my God, you had to make this real.
Well, you sang it, or I sang it, but you said physical, and that was gonna lead to Olivia Newton-John.
Whatever.
Or Sue Sylvester.
Yeah, I like that.
From Glee.
Well, should we just start? Do we want to start with our types, or are we starting with 9?
Let's start with our types.
I do feel like we start with 9 a lot because we were trying to like, give them a little more visibility.
Yeah. They've had enough time. It's turn.
It's our turn.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of perfect that you're a 1 and I'm a 2 because then we can we don't have to wait.
Yeah. We don't have to like suffer through all the others
and say what we gotta say.
I like it.
So
all right.
What you need to say. Okay. Let's start.
Yeah, type 1. I'll speak for what I think, like personally, but then maybe more general as a 1.
Speak for your people.
Yes. So me personally, I definitely like prefer to be given love by acts of service and quality time. They're kind of tied. I think in the past I said acts of service was first, but I think I was wrong because though I do like acts of service, to me they're almost like in an actual relationship, it's like, well, you better do acts of like it.
Are you talking about a romantic relationship?
In an actual romantic relationship, I feel like acts of service are like the lowest of expectations. Like, of course you should do dishes, and of course you should clean. Like that just is an expectation. Now, if you go above and beyond for acts of service, like take something off of my plate that I'm stressed about, that's awesome. That's what I call an acts of service. That makes me feel good. But
like an example of what?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, honestly, my current boyfriend does this for me a lot. I hate grocery shopping. I hate it. It stresses me out.
Me too.
And so if he knows I've already had a stressful day, oftentimes he'll just offer to go and he'll just do it without me. And that's always really nice.
That is really nice.
And then quality time I feel like is tied. Though I'm an introvert, I need to be around, and again, this is more in a romantic relationship. I think friendships are a little different for me, but in a romantic relationship, like we need to spend time together. If you're not making time for me, I don't feel loved. And like that needs to be there. It's like a necessity for me. Relationships who like they see each other like once a week, I would feel so like you don't care about me. Yeah. And then to give, I definitely, it's probably the same, honestly. Actually, giving, I think quality time is first for me when it comes to giving. I think that's how I show people I love them. And in my mind, it's like, how can you doubt my love for you? I spend all my time with you. You know what I mean? And so to me, that quality time is so important. Yeah. Like, I'm always with you. So of course I love you, because if I didn't, I would be alone. Especially being an introvert, I'm like, trust me, I love my alone time. So if I'm sacrificing that for you, I love you. Like, period.
That's funny.
Yeah. But then for ones, I'd say that's probably pretty normal across the board. I'd say ones are probably really high in acts of service. Particularly if they're giving acts of service. I think ones tend to be a little less emotional and a little more into those kind of, let me show you acts of my love rather than like tell you my love. Cause like I'm super uncomfortable giving people words of affirmation. It makes me like really physically uncomfortable. And I think a lot of ones can probably relate to that.
Yeah. I think, going off of what you said, the kind of light bulb in the beginning, folks, that I'm going to reveal to you was I was actually talking about this with some of my friends, Kate and Tessa. Shout out, because you're the reason we're doing this segment, because we had this exact conversation on Sunday. Anyway, but one of my other friends is also acts of service, and I was trying to think about, like, for example, like our relationship. Like I remember, I won't get into me, but this relates to you.
Well, you can segue into you because I'm done with one. So,
but I like to give gifts. That's how I show my love. And I remember we would have, I wouldn't say like fights, but we would have like, what's the word I'm looking for? Disagreements on like gifts and like the way I would perceive giving a gift is different than like, it's almost like there's a difference between giving a gift and then trying to buy people's love and affection. But I also, anyway, so I was talking about acts of service, and I was like, one thing that I remember when we lived together was like, because you would work a lot at home. But one thing that I would always try to do is like, let me unload the dishwasher or something instead. And I think that was actually a huge breakthrough for me personally, because my whole life I was just like buying people stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, that is how I show my love.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, I was also losing a lot of my money. And like, you can like, it's the simple things that like I think matter or show that you care for. Like one.
Totally. Well, and I think that's such a good point in why it's so important to talk about love languages with your friends, with your family, with your partners, because you learn about how people want to receive love and what's going to help them the most. And like, you learned that about me, and were able to be like, Sydney would much rather me unload the dishwasher than if I bring her a gift. And you pivot. And I think we all need to do that. But at the same time, like the receiving end, you can also learn to pivot. I could learn that if you got me a gift, I know that that's really meaningful to you and means you love me. So I could learn to like appreciate that more, you know? Well,
and I also think like it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Too. Like maybe don't buy you a gift all the time. But like if it's your birthday.
Sure.
Yeah, you better bet your bottom dollar you're getting something. Okay.
So pivoting to type 2 is your top gift giving then?
That is my giving, yes.
Okay.
But receiving is not at all. Well, I do love gifts, don't get me wrong. But my receiving, for sure, number one is quality time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put effort into a relationship if they're not giving me the time of day or they're not spending quality time with me. I also feel very strongly about this next thing, like one-on-one quality time versus group quality time.
Totally different thing.
If I'm in a group, I don't see that as going like forward in I cannot speak today. Like progressing in a friendship or progressing in a relationship if there's no one-on-one time.
Yeah. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I know you. I think something else about quality time for you, and this is,
you know me,
hopefully should be universal, but like no phones, like, or limited at least phone time.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Yeah. I thought that was what you were going to say before you said the group thing.
Yeah. And so number one for sure is quality time. Number two, words of affirmation. Like I'm a sucker for it, but I'm also the type of person like everything to me has meaning. Like I very much overthink a lot, but I also really care about people and really think about how can I, help out this other person or like show them I care.
Yeah.
And I think words of affirmation is a big thing for me to receive, but also give. But I also think, again, with the whole group thing, like it depends because, okay, for example, I know somebody, they're not going to listen to this, but I know somebody who over gives compliments, like says so many compliments, like someone could get, this is a random example, but like a C on a paper and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you, you're the best. And then like I could get like an A+ and they'd say the same thing. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Takes away the meaning.
Okay, this is one example. No offense, Mom. Anyway, but she made me this like handmade me this towel, and like it took a long time, and it meant so much to me that I would like hand wash the towel, wouldn't put it in the washer, and then I found out that she made that towel for so many other people that I was just like, fuck this towel. I don't want to see it again.
Well, it does decrease the meaning because it's like you did this for everyone. It wasn't specially made
and I thought it was.
Right. Aww.
Anyway, that's just, I think I'm more like, I like things to be special.
Yeah. Well, I totally get that. Like whatever the avenue of giving you love, like whether it's a gift, whether it's words of affirmation, you just want to know that it was like tailor-made for you.
Yeah. Like
this person had you in mind. It wasn't just, oh, I need to give more compliments. Let me just throw something out there. Or, it's specific. And yeah.
And I think for twos, I would say those as well, but I think a lot of twos maybe because they want to help. Maybe they would also give acts of service a lot.
I could totally see that. Yeah, acts of service. And dude, for twos, words of affirmation. I know a lot of twos. Every two I know is like huge on giving and receiving. Words of affirmation.
Yeah. So number one.
Yeah.
Two's a number one.
Should we move on to three? I think we can go through the other types pretty quickly because we don't have as much kind of like reference points.
Mm-hmm. You thinking what I'm thinking?
For three?
Yeah. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Gifts.
It's like, again,
that's
this
where
is
my wing 3 comes out.
I was going to say, though, like, again, this is really stereotypical, but it's just that threes can be known to be a little more, materialistic. Not in that word is such a bad connotation, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean they care about things like gifts more than other people might, and I think they place value in material possessions, which is not always a bad thing, especially if it's a gift.
Especially if you're friends with a gift giver. I mean, a bonus.
Yeah, but like, you give them a nice necklace and they're gonna like wear it all the time because it was special because it's from you, but it's also pretty and can, I don't know.
No, I agree. Well, and the gift has to be, I feel like, a little more on the nicer end.
Yeah, or again, like something that makes them feel seen. I think similar to like you needing people to put like thought into giving you something special. I think threes want to be seen because they always have this facade on. They're always trying to be something different to fit in, to, I don't know, to get acknowledgement. And if you can actually see them for who they are and appreciate that, I think they really want that. So I would also say for type threes, I think words of affirmation is also really high for threes because, again, they live off of that acknowledgement from others.
Oh, yeah. And as a 2 wing 3, that attention feels nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, and depending on the type of gifts, it could even lead to more attention. Like, if you give someone, like, a really nice jacket, like, that's an attention grabber.
That's so true. Well, and then I also, with what they would give rather than receive, I think they'd probably be good at gift giving, but also I could see them being good at acts of service just because threes are such, like, doers. They're such a doing type.
I was just about to say that too.
That they're just going to be like, I'll just take care of it. I mean, Taylor was like that.
Add it to the list.
When we lived with Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor kind of was just like a busy bee and would just
my gosh, would clean the kitchen all the time and make banana bread.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Shout out to Taylor. And same with like Joe, my brother-in-law who we interviewed. He is always like taking care of things around the house. So I totally see that.
That's nice.
Yeah. All right, fours?
Fours.
That's hard.
Okay, I do think, because we haven't touched on this as much, I do think fours would, out of all the types, well, maybe not out of all the types, like physical touch.
Why do you say that?
I say that because I think that stereotypically, fours are more, can be known as more deep and okay, to be honest, when I think of a 4, first thing that pops into my head is somebody like in a cafe writing down poetry.
Right.
Like I could see words of affirmation and physical touch for a 4.
I agree. I don't know. I just I can't put words to the physical touch thing, but I totally agree. Yeah. It just feels like, I think 4s,
very romantic.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. They are like the romantic type. And I also, when I think of the other types of love languages, it doesn't feel right. Like I can't see 4s loving acts of service. I don't think they'd care. That's too cold and impersonal. It doesn't have meaning to them.
4s, romanticness, words of affirmation, maybe writing them a poem, or they'll probably write you a deep poem that makes you cry and have feelings, if you know what those are. Do you know what feelings are?
Hey, I actually have a lot of feelings.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I could also see quality time being up there for 4, but it really depends on the 4 because I think some 4s really prefer to be isolated and might prefer autonomy and independence. Yeah. So it's hit or miss with that one. But I think they also, because of the romantic part, they need that time together.
And again, all of these are based on like the different people. Like, I feel like even 2's physical touch could be important,
right?
But like to me, it's not.
Right.
So
yeah, it's hard to know.
Yeah. 5s. I can't see words of affirmation, and I can't see physical touch. So what are the others?
Acts of service, I think, could be high for a 5.
Oh, a 5 I know has acts of service, and like, what did they say? Oh, they were telling me that a lot of times, because they have a lot of allergies or like are vegan, I think, and other things. I don't know all of them, but their parent will cook dinner and have their allergies in mind all the time.
Oh, that is
so
sweet.
That act of service, because I think sometimes they were saying people don't really think about like, especially food wise, if someone has like all these different allergies, they're like, oh, let's just go here, let's just go there. But when someone's like, oh, let's go somewhere where we all can eat, specifically this person, like, it means a lot to them.
Totally. Yeah, I could totally see that. And I also think they would give acts of service. I just think 5s can, like, the stereotype is they're pretty impersonal. So anything that's too close, like words of affirmation, like physical touch, I think might feel a little more uncomfortable. But if they want to show their love, they're probably more likely to do an act of service. Or I could also see quality time being high just for the same reason as it is for me.
Yeah.
As like I love my alone time. So if I'm willing to dip into my alone time to spend time with you, that's how I'm going to show my love. And I could see the 5s being very much the same.
Really are obsessed with me. Jeez.
How
much time we spend together.
I was going to say we have seen a lot of each other lately.
Well, and then when we lived together, it was like every day. I'd go to the grocery store and be like, when are you going to be home?
Oh, shut up.
I'm like, okay, lady. Like, whatever. I got to get groceries sometime.
Ay.
Anyway.
6?
Yep. 6.
My instinct is words of affirmation. I think 6s really need affirmation that like they're doing okay, that their relationship is okay, that they're safe, and all of that.
There's a 6 I know that's constantly checking in.
Yes.
Constantly checking in to see if we're good.
Right. I think they need reassurance.
It's not even like we're good. It's more like, how you doing? Like, are we like, I can kind of tell.
Yeah. They're looking for that reassurance. As I think like they probably like words of affirmation's huge for them, but maybe in a different way than like the 2. And that 6s probably need affirmation that the relationship is okay versus like compliments. I mean, everybody wants compliments, but I think it would be more, it would be more meaningful to a 6 if you told them, hey, you are a great partner, or you are a great friend, and I really value our relationship.
For shizzle.
You know, my nizzle. Is that bad to say?
I don't even know what that means.
7. We're done? We're done with 6s? No more?
Decided to move on.
Oh my God.
Do you want to move on?
I just think I want to add quality time too, for the same reasons. Yeah. I think it makes them feel safe, secure, loved.
Like a little blankie.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Wow, Erin.
The camera caught that.
A little too excited, okay?
I'm so excited.
I just can't hide it.
To talk about the 7.
7s.
7.
Yeah, 7s.
7s. Ooh. Let's talk about the 7.
I'll start by saying I think they'd be really good at giving words of affirmation.
A little too much. Just kidding. Yeah.
But I mean, maybe some 7s could dip into too much.
I also think every 7 I know is like the best gift giver.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
Because they're just like, they're such spontaneous and like go with the flow people. I bet they're less concerned with spending money. They're less concerned with like overthinking a purchase. And they're just like, this thing makes me think of you. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like no questions asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. What would they want to get though? For like in my head, I think like 7s don't need anything, but that's obviously not true because they definitely do. They just don't want you to know that.
Words of affirmation is important, at least for the people I know specifically who are 7s have made that, have let me know that, or they're more like sending them a message just like, hey, I'm thinking of you. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you.
I'm pretty sure when we interviewed Taylor, I think she said physical touch was big for her.
That makes sense too.
I think, again, like 7s can be a little, it's harder for them maybe to express their feelings and do mushy-gushy. And so physical touch is something that can keep a little bit of separation. Like, like you don't have to say all your feelings out loud because I think that can make them a little uncomfortable. But instead, you just get to like be in the presence of your person and hug or whatever. And everything is said without words.
I think for 7s, for people I know personally, it's less about, because I feel like a lot of 7s I know are mushy-gushy, but it's the negative feelings that they're not going to talk about. They're going to talk about the happy feelings.
Yeah.
So I would say 7s, physical touch and words of affirmation.
Yeah. All right. I'm with it.
Cool.
8s?
8s. 8s.
Giving for sure acts of service.
Oh, yeah. I know a very healthy 8 who's a giver.
Yeah.
Very much a giver.
Yeah, but in the way that they want to do things, right? For you? Like acts of service kind of thing?
Yeah, or like, okay, this is one example of a healthy 8 I know, where I like visited them and I had to take the ferry, and they were like, their act of service was they wanted to give me money for the ferry and like give me something to thank me, essentially.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of gift.
Giving,
yeah,
but like,
it's kind of both.
A little, it felt more of like an act of service than like the gift itself.
I get that. And as for what they need to feel loved, I feel like this is like so hard because it could be anything. I do think 8s might need words of affirmation more than they let on because they seem so tough and like they're okay all the time because they're just like put on this exterior of being okay and they got it, they can handle it, that they probably don't get enough words of affirmation because you look at an 8 and you don't think, oh, that person needs to be told they're loved. Yeah. Because they're so tough and strong and all that. And so I feel like they might benefit from somebody who can kind of break through their shell and see them who they are underneath and be able to like give them praise for those things.
They like to receive the affirmation. All right, moving on.
9.
9. 9.
I don't know why I see 9s as a quality time person.
Yeah, I would see that too. But I don't know.
But like, no, hear me out. Quality time where you're really hearing, like you said, like one-on-one time, where they actually get to like express all of themselves and you have somebody really listen and really focus on them. Yeah.
Not on their phones. Also, I totally forgot that the cameras were there, so I literally will whisper some things and then realize like, oh, hey. Paparazzi.
They see all.
Big brother. Like, it's hard. I don't think I've spent a lot of time with 9s recently.
The 9s I know, I will say, I think when they're giving, probably words of affirmations at the bottom. At least the 9s I know. I don't know if it just may be similar to me. They just are uncomfortable with it. But I don't know a single 9 in my life that has ever complimented me.
I know a 9 who's complimented you on going like this.
That was a fake compliment.
That was funny.
Oh my God.
Every time I go like that, I think about that. That was a 9, and that was a real compliment. Okay, the way Sydney goes like this.
It's not a heart, it's a...
Oh. A 9 said you were like a really good dancer and like really
Oh my
was
God.
like.
For those who are listening and not watching, it's like a little chest bump movement kind of thing that's really not good at all. But
it's hilarious though, the fact that I think that they were so genuine.
yeah,
that they thought
I think
it was
so
a
too.
good dance move.
That's pretty funny. I mean, I'll take it. But if you're gonna compliment me, at least be right.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was a terrible dance move.
That is correct.
No, I think they're probably really good at, I just think quality time, probably physical touch, kind of for similar reasons I said before, where like, I don't know if they want to get too personal with it. Like sometimes they struggle with speaking their mind. So if they can be more like, let's just spend time together.
Speak it with their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gifts could matter a lot to them too. I know 9s can be very sentimental and like people who hold on to stuff forever, like stuff that was given to them. Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah. 2s and 9s, I feel like are probably the most likely to
I keep
do that.
all my cards since I was little.
Oh,
I have boxes.
I feel like such a bad person, but I literally throw it away right away. I don't even keep it for a little, unless there's like a really meaningful message in it. Like
That's
this one I
good to know.
keep because it said something really nice and I read it every day to remind me.
Also, this is a perfect segue because cards for me, I'm like, if you just sign it, like it says everything and then you just write your name.
Oh.
That doesn't mean anything
that's
to
so
me. If
lame.
you don't write a whole paragraph out.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to throw it away either way, so I actually
I
don't
know
really
you
care.
threw those away.
What do you want me to
I'm not
do?
getting you a card. I'm going to get you something better. I'm going to just come over every Thursday and do your dishes or something.
That's fine with me.
It's like, you know, like when children would give their parents, like for holidays because they don't have money,
Like the coupons. Yeah.
I feel like that would be perfect for somebody who likes acts of service.
100%. I would love that as a gift. And I
Okay.
could just like cash it in whenever I want. So if I'm just having like a long week, I'm like, this is your time, Erin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
a good idea. Okay. That's what you're getting.
Well, that was everybody, huh?
That's the whole group of them.
Yeah, but we have another special segment we're adding to our show, don't we?
Oh my gosh. Yes, we do.
And what is that segment, Erin?
It is called Questions of Fun.
It's called Questions of Fun.
I made it up on the spot.
It's new to me. All right,
Yes,
Questions
we have
of
some
Fun.
questions from different users on our Instagram page. You can find us
Yes.
at Enneagram Non-Experts.
Yeah, make sure to follow us there because we are going to start doing this Q&A section at the end of every podcast. So if you have any burning questions, check out our Instagram and we'll post a Q&A form before we record episodes.
Yeah. We picked out just 3 questions that we had a mix of different things. But here we go. I won't read their usernames because privacy, HIPAA, okay? It's illegal.
We're
going to be arrested.
It's kind of you, Erin.
You're welcome. All right, you ready for question number 1?
Yeah.
This is a little fun one.
Okay.
Okay. What user blank 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 says, what's your favorite movie?
Oh,
Wait, can I guess a couple of yours?
yeah.
Okay, I feel like you really like, is it Secrets of Walter Mitty or
Secret Life of Walter
Secret
Mitty.
Life of Walter Mitty? When I watch that, I think of you.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one. I to be honest, I'm not a movie person. Hate to disappoint you, user blank, blank, blank. But I'm such a TV girl. I love like character development and I just need to like really know my characters deeply. And movies are too short to allow for that. And so I like TV shows because you really get to know people and grow an attachment. So movies are just not my fave. But if I had to choose like my top favorite, it would probably be Annie.
Yeah. That's another thing I think of you every time I watch Annie.
But Secret Life of Walter Mitty is up there too. I really like that one. Annie I could rewatch over and over, and I can't say that about any other movie.
It's a hard knock life.
But I know what yours is.
Wait, I have top 3. Can you name all 3?
They said 1.
Okay, well, whatever.
I know
Top 3.
Lizzie McGuire movie.
Number 1.
That one with Amanda Bynes in England.
Yeah.
And Elmo.
No, for your information, Elmo and Grouchland, although a masterpiece, is not in my top 5.
High School Musical 2.
No. Number 3 is Keith with Jesse
I
McCartney.
knew
It
that.
makes me cry. But you got pretty much the top 2 right. So
Damn.
that's what matters. But yeah, the second one was What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes.
That's what it's called. Yeah.
Just classic. And then everyone at work knows, because I make them listen to What Dreams Are Made Of all the time, that if I'm in like not even a bad mood, but like I'm just quiet, they'll play it, and all of a sudden it's like I had a million energy drinks or just took like drugs or something.
Yeah, you just can't help it. It just takes over your body.
I literally can't help it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
What was our next question?
All right. User blank 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 says, "Why did you start the podcast?" Wait, we have a podcast?
Wow, that sounded like attitude. Like, why
didn't
did you
even-
even start
I didn't
this?
even realize we had a podcast. I thought
We're just chilling.
we were just talking.
We just like to record ourselves for funsies. No, it's a good question. I don't know that we ever really told the story of why we started it.
Maybe in our very first episode,
Yeah.
but it's been so long.
It's not really much of a story. We
were sitting on the couch. It was August 6th of 2020.
2020.
It was a breezy day.
Wow. Well, you always have had a better memory than
That's
me.
true. I can remember very details.
We both really love the Enneagram, and we always would have these really good discussions about it and like use it to grow our friendship and understand each other better. And there was just one day when we were like, why don't we just start recording these conversations?
Well, I think it was your idea, actually. And I said, okay.
Yeah, I've always been super into like the entertainment industry in general.
Yeah.
I love video production. I love photo. I'm a musician. And so I was like, it was 2020, the year of the pandemic. I was like, what can we do that's like fun, but also like productive? And yeah.
Well, and you're so good too. Like Sydney right here, she edits all of our stuff. I do nothing because I don't know how to turn on a computer.
Okay, well, that's a lie. You got through school somehow.
That's true. That's true. But well, your major was also media and communication, so you're really talented.
Well,
in
thank
that
you.
aspect,
I do.
but-
I enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Good.
no problemo,
Good.
as the people say.
And then we just started talking, and just like that, it happened.
And we really just, we make it up as we go.
we really do.
Like, we didn't even know, I think, what we were recording today until
Well, I knew
Erin knew.
in my head.
That's what goes. Usually one of us has a plan. The other one just is
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
Coco.
All right, last
And
question.
our last question is, this is a little harder one. Again, from blank, blank, blank.
Wow,
account.
blank, blank, blank has a lot of questions.
They do. Why did you choose the Enneagram and not Myers-Briggs? For me personally, the Enneagram structure-wise is easier. Like if someone were to come up to me and say I was like IFJK, I would have to, like get out my phone, look. Like I feel like
Yeah.
there's so many more like it's like a sub. I think it reminds me of like subtypes of Enneagram.
Oh,
types a
sure,
little
yeah.
bit. So I just think structure-wise, the Enneagram's easier for me personally.
Yeah,
what
it's a lot easier to digest. I also just like 2 reasons for me. For one, like I've been into personality assessments my whole life. I've always loved it. And every time I take one before I found the Enneagram, it was always like, yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. But nothing ever was like, wow, that is really real until I found the Enneagram. And it's just like it hits you in your heart. And so that's reason one. It's just, yes. But that connects to reason 2, which is that the Enneagram is not behavior based. It's motivation based. And I think that's why it hits so deep is it doesn't just say like, here's the things you do. Like most of the other personality tests will tell you kind of like, this is what you look on the outside, or this is how you might do things or how you live your life. But the Enneagram is why you do things like that, why you live your life that way. What is the motivation behind all of your actions? And so to me, that's a lot more just like, it encapsulates so much more because that permeates every part of your life, not just like little bits and pieces of your personality. It's like, I don't know. It's so all encompassing. And also the Enneagram can get really complex if you want it to, because like you mentioned, the subtypes, you have your lines of growth and disintegration. You have the, what's it called? Tri-type theory, which is something else. And so there's just so much depth to it if you want to go there, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
So it's accessible, like you said. And yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think it puts you in a box like a lot of the other ones because
It's you in boxes.
but I don't know. It's just like, it's not telling you who you are in the same way that some of the others are. It's like telling you like, hey, this motivation motivates you, but you are in charge of how you react to that and respond to that. And you still get to, and the whole point of Enneagram is to grow. Like if you read any website on the Enneagram,
Not
it's
physically, because I've tried.
you're not getting any taller.
Yeah, no.
But no, it's about like, here's your motivation. How can you use this knowledge to become the best version of yourself? And actually like almost outgrow your type in some ways and integrate.
Yeah. That was very well said.
Anyway, I can go on and on. That's why we have a podcast.
Exactly. Well, folks, those are our 3 questions.
Nice.
If you want to ask us more, no asking our social security numbers, okay?
I mean, you can ask, but you're not going to get an answer.
No, well.
Mine is 555-555-5555.
And you can take that to the bank.
Uh-huh. My credit card number, 555.
What if that is actually someone's credit card?
I know.
I've always thought about
They're
that.
screwed. And their phone number.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho. This podcast I listen to, this guy always says, any hoozle. And now it's in my head and I always want to say it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Shout out to Streaming Things, my favorite podcast.
I thought we were your favorite podcast.
Doesn't count. But I will say, if you are a fan of Stranger Things, we did do a Stranger Things episode last, and I should have shouted them out then because Streaming Things is literally the best TV podcast I've ever listened to. Like,
really?
It's 3 guys, which can't believe I love a podcast of 3 guys, but they're the most like, they're just so down to earth and hilarious and just like having a good time. And I love it.
Just like us.
Yeah.
We're so funny.
Yes, it's like us.
We're really funny.
Laugh at
That's
us,
what
guys.
I say in the mirror every morning.
You are funny, Erin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, words of affirmation.
I know, I just had to throw that in there.
Now I'm not going to get another compliment for a year. Just kidding.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Anyway.
That's all. That's it.
That's it, folks. Signing off. My name is Erin Smith.
And my name is Nick Miller.
That is a lie. Identity theft is not a joke.
Sayonara, Sammy.
Bye.
Goodbye.